Shegun Fatuma, welcome. Sorry for the confusion in the program. I came on, but I think the notification didn't go out. So now it's going out. Yeah, it's Shegun Fatuma, Patti Bafu, Eric Osadolo. Now it's okay, yes. I just noticed the notification was not going out. Mufelola, welcome. Rochelle White, welcome. Daniel Asenga is better now, yes. Welcome. Ngoya Sharis, Khan Wali, Adeagbo Adeniyi, Shigon Wafo, Ladi Shoronke, Jefferson, Morenike, Fumi Jeboda, Anastasia McDonald, Paul Awodele, Fola Shade Kikelomo, Lola Shoronke, Omonike, welcome. Jide Craig, all right, Shagun Lawal. Please go ahead and share the link. Juliet, Princess Juliet. Let's go ahead and share the link to this program. And we are going to have a very exciting time tonight again. I started this session in the morning talking about how to become the best friend to your son or to your daughter, to your child. How to become the best friend to your child, the best friend of your child. Please go share the link. Let's go share the link and we'll be ready to go. So how do you become the best friend of your child? Let's continue where we stopped this morning. I've given you a lot of so many points in the morning, and I want to just continue on those points right now. One of the ways to become the best friend of your child is to always be in touch with him, to always be in touch with him in the sense that to find out how he's doing, and show genuine interest in his affairs. You need to show genuine interest in his affairs. Just go and talk to him, hug him, sit down with him, and just find out that let him know that you care about him. And you care and you are concerned about his well-being. So, sit down together with him and, and find out how he's doing. That alone it will go a long way for him to know that you care for him. Now, the next point, how to be the best friend of your son, of your child, is always go ahead of things. Always so if there are some things that are supposed to happen in his life, always preempt. Yeah, always be preemptive. Yeah, that's another way to become the best friend of your child. Be preemptive. Be preemptive. Always go in advance. Always warn him in advance of things that could happen. So, for example, if he's doing something wrong, before you begin to punish him or before you decide to punish him, maybe you should just go ahead and tell him that, hey, that thing that you are doing is going to end up bad. If you do that again, or if that thing you are doing will lead me to punishing you, I don't want to punish you. I don't want to beat you. But if you do that again, you might end up being punished. Things like that. Just preempt the things that will happen in his life. So if there are if there are some things that he's doing that might end up bad, be there for him and let him know that those things he's doing might not end up well. So just give him prior warnings and preemptive warnings about the things that are coming up, that could come up in his life, and giving preemptive information as well about his life, about the age, the group that he's in now. Let him know what things will happen in his age group, what he should expect, and how he should prepare better for his life in that particular age group. When you preempt situations with him and you tell him of things to come ahead of time, you also make the effect of those things to be lessened. You lessen the effect, the destructive effect, the negative effect of whatsoever those things are. So you want to definitely talk to him ahead of time and before those things happen, especially if those things are bad. And you warn him as a friend. You warn him not as a father and mother, like, oh, if you do that, you will be beaten. Or if you do that, hey, you know, this will happen. If you do that, no, don't just be emotional about it, and don't treat him like, you know, you are like you are this God with a big beard and with a cane in your hand that you are ready to punish at any given time. But rather, you know, warn him give him forewarnings, just for as if you are not interested for him to suffer, as if you care for him, just for him to know that you care for his interest, that you care for his well-being, and you don't want him to suffer the consequences of those things that might happen to him if he does those things that you know will end up not very well. So be preemptive in your relationships with him. Be preemptive with the information that you give to him. Be preemptive in the way you warn him of these attitudes or behaviors, or, you know, things that could be harmful to him, or that could lead you to be disappointed, or to punish him. So talk to him, but from the mindset of somebody who cares and who really wants him to avoid the consequences of such behaviors. Next point. Do everything possible to prove to your child and to tell your child that you are there for him, that you are there for him to talk, that you are there for him and open to him for conversation, that you are there and open to him for friendship, that you are there and open to him for discussion, that you are there and open to him to open up to you whatsoever might be bothering him or might be his problem, not just in terms of money and not just in terms of finances, that you are there for him, but let him know that you are there for him just as a friend, first of all. Let him know that you are there for him as a covering. Let him know that you are there for him as a pillar. Let him know that you are there for him as a colleague, as somebody that is, you know, that cares for his well-being. Let your child know that you are there for him, and he could always come to you for fellowship. He could always come to you for relationship. He could always come to you for advice. He could always come to you for his concerns. He could always come to you for his needs, and that you will always be there, that there will be no other person that will be there for him like you will be there for him. So that assurance and that friendship and that openness to your child will really save him from going to the street. It will save him from falling in the wrong hands. It will save him from being exploited by other people. It will save him from being abused by other people. And it will go a long way. It will go a long way. So let your son or your daughter always know that he could always come to you to ask any question whatsoever, and that you will be there to answer his questions, and that there is no question too tough, and that there is no question that you will not give answer to, and there is no taboo in your relationship with him, that he could raise any question, and he should be free and bold to come to you and have an open discussion with you. So that kind of relationship, that kind of attitude, when you totally open up for your child, is very important. Just let me show you this picture with my daughter here. she wrote something and brought it to me. So discussing together, serious discussion between daughter and father. Serious discussion. This is me and my daughter here, the youngest one. Pearl, yes. They should be very open to you to discuss, to come to you and discuss and have open discussion and open up their mind to you. Yep. Another thing you could do to become the best friend of your daughter or son, of your child, is that you could send them parcels. You could send them parcels through the courier services or through the postal services or just from outside. Let them say there is a letter or a parcel coming from outside, and let her open it or let him open it. And those are the other things you could do to surprise and give a pleasant surprise to your child. Let somebody come in and order something and check their name and call on their name and say, oh, there's something for you here. And and they will go and open the door and say, oh, Pearl or whatever, John, they are waiting for you outside. Somebody is looking for you. And he gets the parcel and he opens it and say, oh, he's sending me parcel. Why is this my parcel? Who is sending me parcel? Who sent me a letter? Or who sent me a gift? And he opens it and it's from daddy. And if it's daddy, who is that uncle? He said, that uncle is from the postal services or from the courier service. That would be like, that is a little bit romantic, isn't it? And exotic. It's kind of exotic kind of surprise. A pleasant one, to be a pleasant one, you know. So the same thing could be done with flowers or gifts. So you could do those kind of gifts, send them and send somebody else to bring them to them. And they will, you know, in that kind of situation, it's the kind of thing that those children will be talking about among their peers in the school. They would definitely go to school and brag about it. They will go to school and brag about, my father sent me a parcel, or my father sent me a gift, or say flower through the service, through the courier service, or through the postal service. Yep. So those are some of the ways you could, especially when they have some special days, special occasions for them, some days that might be special for them. That might be a good one too for them. So think about it. Think about it. Another thing you can do to become the best friend of your son or daughter, of your child, is to invite his friends or our friends, to invite his friends or our friends to the house, or allow him or her, allow your child to invite her friends or invite their friends to the home to spend the weekend with you, or just to come and visit you on, you know, for a day or for a weekend or something like that. Let them invite someone. Let them invite someone to the house and let them spend time with them in the house, and let them know that you're giving them that liberty, that you're giving them that freedom. And when they come, make sure that you treat the friends very well. You welcome the friends. You know, for the children, especially when they're teenagers, it's very important for them that you welcome their friends. If you welcome their friends, you open their hearts to you even more. If you welcome their friends and you treat their friends very well, and you provide something for them, and you have something for them to eat, you give them a different room and give them the freedom, they will really like that so much. And so that's another way for you to really show to your son or to your child that you love him or you love her, and that you care, and that his interest is important to you, and that you are not really against him, and you are not against his interests, you are not really against his with friends, and that anything that is good for him is good for you too. Yeah, that will be good for him to know, to be able to trust you better, and to be able to open up to you, and be able to know that, yeah, my father and my mother are on my side. So, you know, sometimes they can sleep over. Those friends could sleep over. You just have to arrange it with the parents of those ones, and be in your house, and you know, you might want to have arrange to have some friends, some adults to help you manage the whole thing. But it's a good thing for children. It's always memorable for them when their friends are allowed in the house. They always appreciate it. By the way, if you have not yet shared the link to this message, you might want to go and do that. So let's go share the link to this message if you have not yet shared the link yet. Let's go share the link. So let's go share the link. All right. What are the other things that we could do to become the best friend of our children? What are the other things we could do to become the best friend of our children? Encourage your children to play with their siblings. So it doesn't matter if they are younger or they are older. Let them know that you allow them to be able to play and be able to really be free and communicate and play freely with their senior brothers or senior sisters, or junior brothers or junior sisters. Maybe sometimes you could play with them as well, or sometimes you could just provide them with the infrastructures, or you know, with the environment that they will be able to play with each other. Encourage them to play with each other. Allow them. Don't prohibit them, and let them know that they could, you know, that they have your freedom, that they have your liberty, your covering, that they could build relationship among themselves, and they could play among themselves. And you know, by allowing them. Okay, for example, let me show you this particular example. This is a senior daughter who has a junior brother. So you see, you allow her to play with a brother, with a junior brother, like this. So this, to a little girl like that, is a big trust. It's a big action of trust from the mother, that the mother is allowing her to carry the brother and to play with the brother, or take care of the brother. That, for a little girl like that, is always so precious. So allow them to play with their sisters or brothers like that. Give them the go ahead. They will appreciate it. They will appreciate your trust. They will appreciate your care, and that you have trusted them to be able to. This is what I mean by playing. Another thing you want to do with your child is to sometimes take what I call a value walk with them. You know, go and stroll, a value stroll. Strolling with them for the issue, to talk about issues of life. Just when you just take them and encourage them, just take them and say, what are we going? Oh, we are going to walk. We are going for a walk. Can you imagine a son saying, oh, I'm going for a walk with daddy. Oh, we just going for a walk with daddy. We are going for a walk. Or the daughter, or your daughter, baby. For your daughter to just, to just know that, where were you? I was going for a walk with daddy. We were in the park with daddy. We were going for a walk. And talking about life issues. When you tell them about some things, about life, that they need to know, some values, some precious things, some things that they will really remember. These kind of things are some of the things that the child will remember for life. It's like it's a small thing, but they will remember it. Raise some issues, raise some critical questions at this time. Discuss with them freely. And it will begin to feel like an adult. It will begin to feel like a grown-up. And he feels himself very important. See the way he's doing like father. He's walking exactly like the father. Looking on the ground just like the father is looking on the ground. He's feeling himself very important. That is how to become a hero to your son or to your daughter. That is how you become a hero to your child. You remember this whole week, we are going to be talking on how to become a hero to your child. This is how to become a hero to your child. Another thing you could do with your child, especially before they are 16, that will really help them to bond with you, is to worship with them, pray together with them, and read the Bible with them. Pray with them. Read the Bible with them sometimes, and worship with them in the house. But it shouldn't be something you do all the time also, in the sense that, not pushing them too much to do that, but let that be regular, maybe once a day or once a week or a few times a week. But this is apart from the value hour that you have at a fixed time and a fixed day every day. That one is different than this one. But this one is just the spiritual time together, because they have to see the example of a God seeker, that their father or mother is a God lover. But don't push it on them. Let it be natural. Let it be natural. So that's another thing you want to do with your another thing that you want to do that will help you to become a hero to your child, or to become the best friend of your child, is to have a philosophy that at home I am only a servant and a slave. To my wife, I'm a slave at home. At home, you might be a pastor in the church or a boss at work, but when I'm at home, you are just a servant. If you could adopt that mentality, because the Bible says that he that wants to be the first should be the last. So since you are the head, it means you should see yourself as the last. If you want to be the greatest, you should be the least. If you want to be the first, you have to be the servant of all. So you have to put yourself in the position of a servant to the family. To your family, you must be a servant. First of all, a servant to your wife, and then a servant to your children. So be there to serve them. What do you want me to do? And do it for them, and just be there for them to help them do what needs to be done. Either it's schoolwork, or it is playing, or it is answering questions, or it is taking out, or just when it comes to your family, just be a servant. Just be a servant. Elizabeth Aina said, "Wow, my head is swelling, Pastor." This is wonderful. This is the continuation of what we started in the morning. I'm just giving you options because I discovered that when I was a father, when I was becoming a father, as a young father, I just didn't know what to read or where to get this kind of information from. and you know what, you don't even know what to talk with your child about, what to even do, what to do with them. You just come back home, give them something to eat, and then to tell them to do the assignment. That's all. You don't even know what to do together with them, and that is why I know by myself that I suffered on what to do with my children, and you know, that's why I know now, because I had to research and I have to come out with these things. Then I began to teach my church, and now I'm teaching you. So be a servant in the home. So at home, you are not a boss. Don't be a boss at home ever. Don't be a director at home. Don't be a manager at home. Don't be the boss at home. Don't be the leader at home. Be the leader, but the servant leader. Be a servant leader. Servant leader. Another thing that you want to do that will help you to bond with your child is to reward them when they behave well. You want to reward them sometimes. When they do especially very well, you want to really appreciate them by rewarding them. So that's what we practice in our family. Like I said, in our family, we don't buy Christmas gifts and New Year gifts and things like that. We don't do anything special those days. But what we do is to encourage them and buy something that they would need to encourage them for whatever they are doing. So we surprise them, we buy gifts for them. But for Christmas, we say if our New Year or birthday, that if they need anything, that they should ask God, that God will talk to somebody and somebody will bring something to them. And that's what normally happens. Somebody will bring something to them, a gift to them when they ask from God. And if they ask, it didn't come, you say it means that you don't need it, or you didn't ask enough. So we just don't want them to have the mentality that the father is supposed to do something, or the parents are supposed to do something by force, either on Christmas or on birthday party or something like that. No, we want them to know that the most important birthday present they have is that they have the parents here with them. And everything they are getting every day, the training they are getting every day, the love they are getting every day, that's their birthday gift. And it's not once a year only, it's every day. And when it comes to Christmas and New Year also, we just gather together as a family and thank God for the family, for what God is doing for us, for everything, but nothing special to any child because it's birthday or it's Christmas. We all gather together, and you know, unless they need something for their schoolwork or for themselves, then we could buy that thing towards that time, but not because it is anything. It has to be, you know. So we don't want our children to get under that control so much that if you don't buy in some houses, if you don't buy things for your children, they begin to get angry at you as if you are obliged to. And if you don't buy something for them on their Christmas, they're almost ready to reject you, because you have trained them to be like that, to be receptive. That is the only language they understand. You have taught them that language, the language of being appreciated, not because you are there, not because you are their parents, but for being appreciated by what you can produce or provide for them. So we try to build the relationship with our children, not on what we can give to them in the physical, but what we give to them in the moral and spiritual aspect on a daily basis. We want them to know that there are some things that are much more valuable than the physical things, like money or material things. Next thing you want to do with your child to become the best friend of your child is that you correct with love. Correct your child with love. What that means is that you never correct him when you are angry. You never correct him when you are full of emotion, when you are angered, or when you are offended. So let's say the child has offended you or has done something bad, that is not the time to beat him. That is not the time to punish him. That is not the time to speak harshly to him. The child has done something bad and and it has affected you negatively, don't be reactional. Don't be reactional, especially if you are feeling the pain. Especially if what he has done is painful and you are feeling it and you are emotional about it. Just tell him that, okay, come and see me maybe in 1 hour's time or 2 hours time, or that we will talk later on. Or or you just talk to him and say, see what you have done. Okay, you are going to be punished for it. But don't beat him that particular moment. You can beat him when you have cooled down and you now tell him that, okay, you remember what you've done? Okay, now then you can talk to him. Before you beat him, talk to him first. So you could first of all talk to him and let him see that, okay, you see, I don't want to beat you, I don't want to, but what have you done? He will say what he has done. How many times have I warned you not to do this? He will say it. Two times, okay, I forgive you. 3 times, I told you the 3rd time you'll be beaten, but I still don't forgive you. 4th time, what will happen? He himself will be begging for that punishment. Especially if you have forgiven him 2 or 3 times before that. So show him much love before punishment. Show him in punishment that you are not just reactional about what he has done, that it's not anger that is driving you, and that it is not emotion that is driving you, that it is the well-being of that child that is driving you, that it is for his own good that you are doing what you are doing. So for you to be able to do that, you need to be able to cool down first, and you need to be able to talk to him first in a cool way and explain to him what is going on and what has happened and why he deserves that punishment. And still, you don't punish him from the very first time. Punish him, warn him first time, 2nd time, maybe 3rd time, and then the 4th time, of course, he himself will be telling you what should be done to him. So, and whenever he is convinced and he knows that he deserves that thing, then you don't have to be worried that it's going to be negatively affected by that punishment or not, because you already gave him enough warning about it ahead on, and he knows why he's being punished, and he knows what kind of punishment follows the kind of action that he just did. So what are the other things that you could do to become the best friend of your child? Always let your child know when you are concerned for him, that you are concerned for him. Always let your child know that you are concerned for him, that anything that concerns him concerns you. That, let's say, for example, he's not doing well in class. Explain to him why he needs to do well, because you are concerned for his future. And explain to him that the people who control the world, who rule the world, are people who study well. That it is how you do in your classes and in your exams will determine who you will become in life. Either you will become a taxi driver or you become a minister or a government minister. Yeah, and it is because of that, because you care for his future and you care for his destiny, that you don't want him to become a slave to his mates. So you explain to him, not shouting the way it was shouted to us when we were in Africa and shout with hatred and anger. No. Just make sure that you cool down first as parents. Sit him down, let him sit opposite you or on your lap or nearby you, and you look him in the eye and tell him that, no, this is not because of class, and this is not because of mathematics, this is because of your future, and this is because of what you will become. You know what mathematics means? Let me tell you. Do you like to fly on plane? Yes, it is because of mathematics. Do you like cars? You would like to have a river? You don't want to how to make it? It is people who do mathematics and physics, so they're the ones who do those things. So explain to him why he needs to do the thing, that you care for him, that everything you are asking him to do, first of all, convince him that it is out of care and concern that you have for his future, for his life, that is making you to ask him to do those things. If he gets understanding about your motive, about your motivation, and it sees your heart that you are sincere about it, you will have the best, the most understanding child who is going to be your friend as a result. That is how to become a best friend to your child, to become your child's best friend. Okay. TY says, wow, wow, that don't be emotional thing is so awesome. Even as an adult, dealing with adults, it will be a whole different lot that you do this. Shows serious self-control, Dr. Adelaja. Oyewo Noah said, Pastor, you blow my mind. It is everyday matter, not festive or birthday matter. The availability of the parent is already a big gift to the child. Yes, yes. Yeah, unfortunately, many parents just make the mistake of buying gifts on holidays and they spoil those child and they just spoil the mentality of the child and unfortunately. TY said, I wish I had taught them that, but well, it's not too late. Great idea not to have entertainment mentality, no, and not to have celebration mentality every day. It's just like you live with God every day, and that is the essence of your walk with God. Your walk with God is not on Christmas only or on Easter only. The same way with your parents and with your children. Oshigo said, I told my 2 kids 2 years ago that I'm not their Santa, so they don't come to me demanding for anything they want. Elizabeth said, yes, sir. You don't know how impressive these comments are coming from a man and a pastor at that, sir. God bless you, sir. I don't know which comment. That is, who said that? That is Elizabeth. I now said that. Adidotun said, your concern should be broken down into handable pieces that can be divulged to your child to the extent that he or she can understand what you are passing across. Yes. But don't do it in emotions. Ogenitaga says, I have opened a hard copy notebook for these teachings on parenting. My children's lives will no longer be left to chance. Amen. That's the way it's supposed to be. You got it. You got it. Monica said, thanks so much, Pastor Sunday, for this teaching. God bless you, sir. If we as parents can follow all these teachings, then we'll be a very good parents. Yep. Yep. I'm not through yet. I'm just reading some of your comments. The next thing you want to do with the child is to let your child know that you are proud of him, not just when he's doing something nice, not just when he has some achievements, but on ordinary days, for behaving nice, for being good, for being there for you, for being your child, for being a part of the family. And, tell them good things. Tell them how proud you are of them. Tell them how proud you are that they are a part of the family. Always find positive things for which to praise your child. Always look for some things that is making them to stand out and making you to be proud of them. And sometimes a lot of parents think about their children like that. They are proud of their children, but they don't voice them out. They don't voice those things out. But you need to voice them out. You need to, open your mouth and let them know that you are proud of them. Let them know you are proud of them. Another teaching, another point is don't let, when you see negative parts and negative tendencies in your children, don't frighten them off with that. Point them out in a way that will bring them peace, that will not frighten them, that will not make them to be afraid, that will be panic. So remove panic in your attitude to your child, even when they are doing something that are not so good, or even when you see some negative tendencies. Yes, deal with those things. Deal with them coolly, quietly, easily, without any panic. In some, especially African families, a lot of panicking is going around, flying around in the air. A lot of, panics, a lot of emotions, and a lot of fear is being demonstrated. But that is not good for the psyche of the child. So make sure that you talk to the child coolly, that you are not overemphasizing some of the things that he has done, that you are not exaggerating his mistakes and his fault. So take it easy. Don't be panicky. Don't overreact about what your child is, about negative things. If you want to overreact about good things, about positive things, not about negative things. If you want to overreact on good things, not on negative things. Okay, Iruka said, Pastor, today's message is mainly for me, mainly in this area of buying Christmas gifts. Now I know when to buy and when not to buy. Thank you, sir. T.Y. say we should be vocal about praise, always be generous with our compliments. Yeah, Jide said, so don't be overreactive, don't overreact over negative tendencies. Yep. Caroline says that often parents are only proud of their child in front of other people. Otherwise, when he's alone, they are not showing him that they are proud of him. That is a good one. And we need to change that too. Adeagbo said, Pastor, thank you so much. Honestly, you really made me realize my weaknesses. May God continue to bless you, sir. Thank you. Adetudotun said, God have mercy. My dad passed across his mind with so much emotion. Okay, my dad passes across his messages with so much emotion and anger that the crux of the message most of the time is distorted. Yeah, and that's what you don't want to do. It's counterproductive for the children. Rafatu Abu said, thank you, Pastor. It is a great teaching. I'm so happy to be here today. Yep. Monica says, Pastor Sunday, I want you to know, since I have started listening to you regarding parenting a teenager, there have been a real cordial relationship between me and my daughter. Thanks so much for these teachings. Well, we are growing, isn't it? T.Y., I panic, Pastor. Oh dear, especially when we heard one other friend's stepdad was a pedophile. I panicked, Pastor, and I felt ashamed, but I was terrified. Elizabeth, I am referring to the comment you made about service, sir, that even if a man is a pastor in the... Oh, okay. I understand that now. Kwame Umti, you open my eyes to some serious issues here, Pastor. Thank you. Thank you, too. Anastasia says, I went to the post office with my older son as we were walking to the counter, a man was walking as well to the same place. I saw and heard my son say to the woman so politely, you first, madam. I was so proud of him and let him know it immediately. Yep, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Maybe not immediately so that the other lady doesn't hear, but maybe when you get home, on the way home. Yeah, but the idea is to, let him know you are proud of him. Adedoton says, thank you so much for this in-depth teaching on parenthood. I suddenly realized that I was manifesting the same error in my dad. I do not like this act of overreacting on when my children have done something very touching things. I believe I'm receiving deliverance by this teaching. Thank you very much. Thank you once more, sir. Thank you, too. this is what overreaction creates. This is what overreaction creates. When the father overreacts or the mother overreacts, the child also overreacts. You don't want that to happen. This is what overreaction does. Even if the child doesn't respond like that to you physically, it might be responding like that to you inside. So if you overreact to the mistakes and the errors of your child, this is what you get. You know, in the house, you are not a school teacher. Take things easy. Let things cool down before you begin to minister to, talk to your child in a way that he will be able to receive and he will be willing to receive. Okay. Another way for you to become the best friend of your child is that you have to honor your child. Learn to show respect and honor to your child. Learn to respect your child. You know, sometimes we think that only the young should respect the older. But really, if you really want to become the best friend of your child, learn to show respect to him. Learn to honor him. Learn to, to respect him. You know, in some languages, they have, like in French, you, tu, or you, vous. And the same with my Yoruba language, ẹ̀yin and ìwọ. So sometimes it might be even healthy to use the ẹ̀yin or they to your child, in your family, for everybody. For example, in my family, I don't use you like te or tu for my wife. We only use they for each other, which in Russian, which is like vous for each other. And that's like ẹ̀yin for each other. For me and for her is mutual. So sometimes it might be helpful to do that for a child too. So, but especially for the spouses, for the husband and wife, that might be really very helpful for you. So learn to respect your child. That seems like almost an impossible thing for most parents because they will just want the child to respect, but they don't want to respect the child. But you should be different. Let's learn to respect our children. Show respect to him. Show respect to him. Let him know that he's respected. Let him know that he's honored. Akinruli Bridget said, this is my first time of watching this program and I'm happy to be here at this moment. Wow. You need to follow the messages you have missed. And you need to go over and hear some other messages, not just on this topic, on various topics that you have already missed. We have over 500 messages like this on this video. So I'm sure there will be some link here. And in the beginning of just go to my page, to my timeline, and go down, up and down, you will see so many list of video messages that, that you could go and listen to. Or you go to my blog, sundayadelajablog.com. And you see the video blogs and so many video messages there and audio messages too. So if you're here for the first time, welcome. And what you could do to get a copy of this message is to go and share the link. You have a share button under your video. Go look for it and share. Press the share button. That share button will make the video to come over to your page and you'll be able to watch it at any time. Adedotun said, the mentality that you should correct and train up a child in the way it should go, the way how is not known to most people. I used to believe that you have to correct the child immediately before the matter gets down. Now I know that I should not do that. No, you shouldn't. Pat Madwemen said, all that you are saying is so true. Thank you. Well, all this week I'll be talking about how to become a hero to your child. But today's topic was how to become your child's best friend. But this whole week we're going to be addressing this topic. Well, we still have an advert here from Sunday Adilaja. That's from me, talking about HMTs. For some of you who think you will still be able to make it for January from the 2nd to the 6th. If you can make it, let us know. You have to follow the link and write to the guest department to find out. Maybe it will not happen. I was just telling the organizers, the African students here in Ukraine, that if they cannot organize it, the last time they tried to organize it, they were not doing well. And I'm saying that if they are not going to do well, I don't like the organization already. If they are not going to do well this time also, we are going to cancel it. I'm not going to do it. I don't have much time to waste on people who are not serious. So I'm telling them that they have to show me they are serious before we could continue with this HMT. If these people will not, by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will know if I'm going to continue with this HMT or not. Okay. Sunday Adelaja is also putting a copy of my MMM article here today. You know, I have this article that I'm writing about the pyramid and Ponzi scheme that is started in my country. MMM is called, and I'm writing an article to address it. Every day I'm writing one article. So I wrote one today, and the link to that article is here. So if you want to read it, if you have been reading it, it will be interesting to hear your thoughts. And if you want to read this new one, if you have not read it, please go ahead. Ngoya Shari says, excessive and unnecessary panicking, shouting, not only raises your blood pressure. That is a nice way to put it. It raises your blood pressure, right? But besides that, you lose your sense of urgency, your healthy sense of urgency as well. When things truly are worthy panicking, then if at all. Also, at some point, your children risk losing respect for you if they know that you are always freaked out because of every minor issue. Brilliant. Well said. Well said. Well said. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, you won't know. I said, even though I'm a pastor too, I become so emotional when it comes to correcting my children. Wow. Gift says that kind of overreaction doesn't make the child to be sincere with their parents, which is true. TY says, Dr. Adelaja, it's like you are so all-round excellent, and yet you did not have parents per se. But look at you, an embodiment of all godly parenting. Amazing. Yep. Because who you become in life is not whatever father you had or mother you have alone, or where you grew up, but what you're able to do with yourself. What you're able to do with yourself. What you're able to put in yourself. What values, how you're able to create yourself. In my own situation, I was able to create myself. I formed myself. I made myself into the kind of person I wanted to become. Each one of you can actually engineer themselves. You be the architect of your life. You can create the kind of life that you want for yourself. Everybody have to give him or herself his own life. You have to give yourself life, the kind of life that you want. Nkiro Chimadu said, my 7-year-old always opened the door and stand by it until all of us, the ladies, enter. Wow, what an example. Amazing. Onyiye Okoro said, thank you, sir. This teaching is on point. Agape said, thanks for this teaching, sir. Modupe Olutun Fese. Oh, she's first-time viewer as well. She says she's getting blessed already. Okay, thank you, my dear. Gift Amos says, it's true, sir. I only noticed that from Spanish mothers, whenever their children mistakenly destroy an object, they will only say good. No problem, no problem. I also learned that from them. Yeah, you see. You don't react when you are emotional. Pat Maduemene said, Pastor, you are just the best in all things. Oye War said, I'm so guilty of that emotional correction. Yeah, most Africans are just emotional and reactional. You shouldn't be. You should be over that. Nkiru said, when my children break plates and cups, I tell them to just put them in the bin. That's why the breaks are called breakable plates. When we were kids, I remember how people around us were beating mercilessly just by breaking a plate. Wow. Paul, good news. Thank you, sir, for all your teachings. Even your smile is now a logo. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you. Oluwatope said, we are product of the understanding and the lack of understanding of the people who raise us up. We are a whole bunch of accidental incidences. You can, however, change your accidental self into your ideal and best self in the place of solitude. Pastor Sunday said this when he was teaching on time conversion. Yep. Elizabeth says, absolutely, sir. Spot on reaction. All parents yield fractional children. Yep. Nikki said, now we do not need nanny 911 again, to be honest. Getting free training from Dr. Adelaja. How fortunate we are. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. Gift Amos, knowledge is powerful, self-development is important. Yep. But these things are supposed to be known before you get married, in fact. Modupe Olutunfeshe says, sir, sometimes I think our African culture tends not to encourage being our children's friends. That is, Africa raise their voice, yell out of fear after the children going wayward and others. Yeah, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. Omonika said, I have really learned a lot because I am a temperamental person. If anything happens, I don't like to delay before I react. But now, I know it's better to cool off before reacting. Thanks so much for these teachings. Apostle Yomi says, yes, I read the MMM articles. It's great. I recommend it for all my pastor members, my pastors, and for all pastors and members. Oh, okay. Shiju Ade said, it is true, Pastor. The teenagers of today are ready to talk on top of their parents with high voices. Yeah, that's why parents shouldn't provoke them. Pastor, paste the link. The link is already posted about the MMM article. I think that's what you're asking for. The link is already there. Ade Dotton says, MMM, the issue has generated so much controversy, but you have brought so much understanding regarding the matter. Thanks. Although so much money has been lost. Yep. Anne-Marie say, I used to make my mom to promise not to get angry with me before telling her bad things I did. She really never overreacted. She would stare at me and go quiet. Sometimes I wish she screamed instead because I couldn't tell what she was thinking. Nkiru said, these teachings are priceless. I still have a lot of work to do in my kids. Thank you, sir. Gift Amos, knowledge is powerful. Okay. Yep. Well, I hope you are blessed today. I really hope you are blessed. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about how to become a hero to your child. Benny Bendito said, good evening, sir. First time here. Thank you so very much for the teaching on this topic. Thank you. Welcome. Like I said, there are so many other topics that have been addressed while you are not here. I will really advise you to go and check out some of those teachings. They will be a blessing to you. Trust me. Adedoton said, most African people are very reactive to issues as they present themselves. Emotional response don't get the problems resolved, but I think the problem. Live proactively by living the principles from inside out and not otherwise. Omonika said, most African people are always so emotional in correcting their children. I hope we will learn now. Thanks, sir. You are so blessed. Thank you. We are so blessed, okay? Modupe said, sir, you are blessed, sir. You confirm some of my beliefs. I always encourage my children by saying, you don't know it yet, rather than you don't know it. The power of the word, it makes a big confidence difference. Thank you, Pastor. Glad I came today. Yeah, I'm here 2 times a day, in the morning and the evening. So look at the schedule and come back every day. TYC, thank you so much, Dr. Adelaja. Every single time we're here, we learn something tangible and applicable to our everyday life. You are a blessing, sir. Anne-Marie, thank you, Pastor Sunday, for another lovely session. Shigo, you are making us all super parents. Adeolu so tonight is just frozen in Kent. Wow. Shigo said intentional and purposeful child raising. Yep. Okay, take care of yourself, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye. Good night.